Any reason why nobody is around? Nobody is people are joining now. Okay, astu. Chinta nasti. Okay. So last class we saw a few dhatus. We also saw a few things about the vikarana pratyaya and akhyata pratyaya. Right? We saw that they were basically it's a conjugation. Once you have a dhatu plus a conjugation gives you a real verb to use in a sentence. This is what we saw until this point in time. Any doubts till now? Narayana Modaya, you are on mute. Bhavan, Dhvani Mudrika mute madhyas.
Yeah, and noun is not derived by dhatu. Nouns. Nouns are derived from dhatu. Nouns also derived from dhatu.
No, nouns are derived from a different form. Currently, we have not covered them. They are called.
They are not dhatu. Dhatu is not called dhatu.
No, they are not called dhatu. They are called pratipadikam. That is a stem.
Oh.
Technically, they are stem. But yeah, we will look at them when we are doing the very similar prakarana of Sangya Padani.
Oh.
Currently, what have we seen? Balakaha, balakaha.
Oh.
Correct? Balika, balikaha. Correct? We have seen some things like these. We have not yet seen a very detailed version of nouns.
Okay.
When we get to that, we will do very similar thing of nouns as well. Okay. I wanted to cover a few things today, but I see that the attendance is low. So let's do something a little differently. So I'm not sure why the attendance is low. There was nothing in the group either. Let me just check if there is any specific reason why people are not joining. Give me 1 minute. Any other questions that we have from the previous class? Or classes?
May not be from the previous class, but our previous syllabus.
Classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, please ask.
So
let's
this
do that.
Lat Lakara is the present tense of action, right?
Correct.
So for the past tense, it will be some other Lakara, not Lat. Some Lot Lakara or something.
Yes, for past tense, it is Lang Lakara. We will do that. I wanted to cover that. But let us see, people are joining now. So let's give them a little time. For some reason, people are joining late today for whatever reasons. So let's give them a little time and probably we can cover that. I'll tell there are totally about 10 lakaras. Just like lat, we have lit, rit, lit, then lut, rit, which is the future, rit, late, lot, lung. Okay. Lakaras. Then we have 4 more which come differently.
अस्तु महोदय.
Astu.
अस्तु.
So this one is lat lakara is for present tense, present only. Lang lakara is for past tense. Rit lakara is for future tense. Astu va?
अस्तु महोदय.
Okay.
Mahodaya, can you just repeat again? What is for present and what is for past?
Lat lakara is for present. Lang is for past.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Rit is for future.
Lung is for past.
Yes.
And rit.
Rit is for future.
How will you write it? And that last one?
Let me just showcase that.
Can you get an example also? One example also. Look.
Example probably will cover later. Example will cover all these lakaras in coming days. So lat lakara. Then you have lit lakara. Lit lut lakara. Rit late then lot then let lut rit late lot lung. Ling lung ling lung. Three, four, five, seven.
One more should be there, I think.
Yes. Lung ling yeah, so there are two to this lung. One is vidhiling ashirling. Okay. Astu Aparna Mode. Intanasti. Okay. Okay. So in this 1 year, we'll be covering lat. We'll be covering. Okay, let me do one thing. For ease, let me put them in Okay. Okay. This ling lakara takes two forms. One is Vidiling, one is Ashiyaling. Okay. In this course, we'll be covering this lut, lot, rit, and lung. Okay. The others we will cover only in the next year after once we pass out of this whole this one. Okay. Now lut is present. Okay. Then rit is future. Rit is past. Bhutakala. Lot is agya or prarthana. Okay. Currently we have covered lut.
Which one is lung? Is which one?
Lung
It's a
is
past.
past. Lung is past. Okay. So everyone is clear with this?
Can you tell us the others also, Mahadaya? What are they? So we'll just note down.
So to note them down, okay, I'll myself have to check a little. So
Okay.
one is past. I'll get back to you. Next class we will discuss this in
Okay.
full
Okay.
detail.
Okay. Okay.
Now this one, this ling, for instance, is what is termed as bhave prayoga. That is made certain things happen. Sort of bhave yuhu kind of this one. So there is this past participle, future participle, and then present continuous, things like that. So I'll have to give you exact definitions in English, but that'll be quite difficult. So one of the ways, okay, I think it may be easy if I go to ashtadhyayi.com. Very simple thing. Okay, any other doubts that we have? Vikram Modaya, Apeksha Modaya, Bharat Modaya, Preeti Modaya.
न महोदय
Astu. Bharat Modaya.
Mahodaya, one doubt again. In the last class, we were doing this lakara for Shrunoti. Shrudhatu.
I think I'm having some. Here. Shrudhatu. Okay.
So I asked a question saying that
What about Shrudhatu?
why is there no Shrunati? It's only Shrunoti. So is there a word called Shrunati?
Shrunati is not there. No. I checked that. Yes.
That's all, Madhya. Just wanted to know that.
Let's check in this Ashtadhyayi also to confirm. I'll show you Ashtadhyayi. Yeah, I'll show you in Ashtadhyayi what it says about Shrunati. Because the nakara, as I said, is because of the refa, which is there. preceding. Okay.
Yes. Astu Mahodaya.
Okay. Preeti Mahodaya, Prashnaः सन्ति वा?
No, Mahodaya.
Okay. Apeksha Mahodaya?
No, no question.
न सन्ति. अस्तु, चिन्ता नास्ति. Okay. इदानीं, give it a minute. I think my Ashtadhyayi is still loading. So, give me a minute. I will share my screen after that. You can do some good work on Ashtadhyayi.
Mahodaya, one question I have.
Huh?
That the thing we discussed is Mandirani or Mandirani. So
Huh.
have we discussed the rule for that?
No, we have
Or
not yet discussed that.
okay, I think
Not,
I
not yet.
think it was given in the homework, right? That question.
Right. So as I said in the last class, once we do that, there are two concepts which we have not yet discussed that others have done to some extent. One is this Natvam. The other one is Sankhya.
Yeah. Okay, Mahodaya.
Okay. So both of these, for now, you can avoid all the homework questions that are there. Just mention that you are from the Thursday batch and this topic has not been discussed.
Astu, Mahodaya. Astu.
Yeah, you will not be, there is no penalization for that at this point in time or any this one. So what we will also do is we'll probably have some small, we'll take a break and we'll do a revision class. If everyone was there today, probably I wanted to do one sort of a revision, but let us see. Why is that such
Astu.
a long time?
Mahodaya, is there going to be a test? I heard after 14th class you're going to give a test.
We usually do that. So do you want a test? Okay. Now, what I will try to do at least with this batch is, I'll send out what we will do, we'll try to set up sort of a pop quiz, a timed quiz on Google Sheets. Okay. We'll give you multiple answers where you can evaluate, where the answers will come out on its own and you'll get the grades also then and there. That will help you test yourself. Is that good?
Yes, it is good.
Yes, let's do that. We have covered quite a bit and that is just a stock taking as to where we all stand. Okay. So when do you want? You tell me the date, you tell me the time, I'll set it up for that week. That week you can all relax and say no homework. Bharat Mahodaya, Aditya Mahodaya. Wanted to say something?
Nothing, Mahodaya.
Nothing. Okay. Fine. Okay.
Actually, when we started the class, when we first day opening, you know, saying in April.
So we have covered about, this is the 14th session, this is the 13th session, Mahodaya.
Okay.
We have covered about 13 sessions. That's about roughly 3 months. We started sometime in April, no? April, May, June. May, June, yeah, we're almost getting into July. Okay, my Ashtadhyayi has loaded. So let's now go to Ashtadhyayi. You had said Shrunati, right?
Mahodaya.
There is nothing for Shrunati.
Hmm.
There is only Shrunoti.
This Amarakosham is such a dictionary. Can we any use it will be if we purchase one Amarakosham?
Huh?
Amarakosham can help us. Amarakosham if we purchase Amarakosham.
Huh?
Any help it will do us Amarakosham?
Any help that Amarakosham will do?
Can we derive any help from Amarakosham?
Amarakosham has certain help in a lot of ways, but the thing is that it does in a different way actually.
Oh, the dictionary is just a sort of thing, it's a dictionary, no?
Yes, it's a paryay pada. So there is a dictionary. What you can do, you need not actually buy Amarakosham. Instead of buying Amarakosham, there are these searchable versions of Amarakosham.
Acha, okay. In Google you get it. Can you Google it?
You can do. It's available in Samsadini.
Uh-huh.
Go to Samsadini. Let me show you.
Samsadini.
I think we have covered this. No, this is there in my slides. If you go here, let us say you say Shunoti. Okay. It has to be. Yeah. Okay. I have to share this screen. Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
If you go here, see you have Amarakosham Mahodaya.
Uh-huh.
Paryayavacha is not available for this. Let us say you give me one word, you give me a noun.
Vriksha.
Huh?
Vriksha.
Vriksha astu. Vriksha is there. Now, if I go here to Vriksha, it's a Pullinga Pada. In Amarakosha, it will show me all the Paryayavachi Pada for Vriksha. Vriksha, Mahirusha, Shakina, Vitapan, Padapa, Taru, Anokaha, Kuta, Shala, Palashina, Dudruma, Agama, Naga, Aga, Shikharina, Shikarina, Adri, Vishtara, Dava. These are all the Paryaya Padas for
it's a kind of dictionary only, meaning dictionary.
Yes, this is the dictionary. This is up you can go to apte also. In Hindi, it means paid.
Yeah. Whatever the different meanings for Adri, for example, a hill also is called Adri. It's also called Adri.
Adri.
Adri, hill also is Adri, no? Hill also. Adri.
Huh? Agni is different from Adri.
No, Agni, no, Adri, Adri. A-D-R-I, A-D-R-I, Adri.
Adri.
Adri,
Adri is here.
वृक्ष में दिखाया, वृक्ष में they saw shown Adri, hill also is Adri. Sahyadri,
Adri is
Sahyadri we call it.
just a minute.
Sahyadri.
This Adri, no? Adri can mean rickshaw. Adri can also mean
Hill or mountain,
this,
mountain.
Adrihi. I'll have to give Adrihi. Adri has so many meanings. See, it can mean Parvata. You see, it gives you full from where it is derived, where it is used. Adri can mean Vriksha. Adri can also mean Surya.
Oh. But Sheshadri, how derived Sheshadri?
So that derivation we'll do later. At this point, it will confuse everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay, so that comes from the Parvata Roha, so let's not do that right now. Okay. Chinta nasti Mangala Modeya Agamitam. Astu. Okay, if we don't have any other questions, I wanted to ask all of you one question actually, today's session, before we proceed and do some practice. Whenever we are doing this, traditional, and the reason is partly because I want to cover this as part of our ASK tradition, that is Arsha tradition that we have. Whenever we see this whole concept of going back to our Shastras, learning our Shastras, or going back to our traditions, one of the key questions that we all come across in the modern day thing is, Shastras prohibit us from doing a lot of things. It expects us to be living in a state of austerity. In our this one we have that term austerity in the modern day parlance. So basically, you're not supposed to do anything. You have to become a very sannyasi and go away. How many people have this sort of a concept, and how many have heard this in the past? If anyone is doing an adhyayana of Shastras, they are supposed to be doing very pious things and be living in such a state.
We read that in storybooks, but later on we saw that most of the sages, all the Maharishis also, they were grihasthashramas only, right? So they had their patnis helping them out with so many day-to-day rituals and all that. And they are the ones who came out with so many Upanishads and everything that they wrote. So
Correct.
I don't think it correlated with any of that.
Okay. So, okay, you said we read that in storybooks. Can you recollect one story which asked you to be austere or give up everything?
Story of Vedavyasa we used to read, and his son, I forget that Sukha Muni,
Shuka
and
Maharshi.
Shuka Maharishi. So how they followed and how they were great, and they didn't want to go into Grihastha and even this Sanat Kumaras. So based on that is what we, and the story always starts with the creation, right? Brahma wanted to create, then he had Manasa Putras, and 5-6 times he gave birth to so many of them, and everybody said, no, we don't want to be a part of creativity, we want to go into the knowledge. And then they all went on to become sages. Then that's when he got really angry and cursed many of them for not helping him in the creation.
Okay.
So that is where I think that concept came. But then later on,
Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga, two, Pravritti and Nivritti, the two.
So, Mahodaya, before we get to Pravritti and Nivritti, I don't want to go so far because a lot of people are not introduced to Vedanta here. So, let's hang on there. I want to hear out Ranjani Mahodaya's view first.
Then later on we saw that after that I started reading all these different storybooks. Basically, all the knowledge gained was through Amar Chitra Katha, thanks to ACK comics. During my young age, later on we went to read on to Rajagopalachari's books and all of that. So then you realize that most of the sages, even the greatest of them all, Vashishta Maharishi, he Brahma Rishi basically. Correct. How he had the powers and he had sons, and then he ran big ashramas. So correct. That meant that he lived a proper life, but as a teacher, as a guru, correct. As a preceptor and all of that. So then we realized that it is not really true. You can decide to pursue piousness being in the family.
Right, absolutely. So what you're saying is absolutely right. And in fact, it is, I mean, what we are showcased and what we are sort of exposed to is only one small aspect of the whole thing, and which says that, austerity is what everything is all about. And thanks to some random Western interpretations of these also, which come about saying, it should be we should all live some so-called Hindu rate of growth and all those nonsense that has come about, which was being propagated. So Narayan Mahodaya was absolutely right. So there is what is called Pravritti and Nivritti. What Shankaracharya says, Pravritti Lakshana and Nivritti Lakshana. Only those people who have done all their jobs, who have completed their jobs and washed away all the karmas and vasanas, right? Start with the Nivritti part. That is going towards the greater good of seeking only knowledge. Only, when I say knowledge, again, knowledge are of two types. One is the Paravidya, the other one is the Aparavidya. This is not a class on Vedanta, but still we need to know because we are reading Samskritam. The next part, the next class, I'll be linking this to our direct what we are going to learn. Right? So most people there are getting into the Paravidya regime. And hence, that is where they are actually going and saying that, this one, it should be, we should now take off. It does not say, don't be rich. What it says is, don't be attached to your richness. That's all it says. That's why I want to bring this up very critically here. Bharatiya Sampradayana Mithya. The first myth, the word myth comes from the word Mithya in Sanskritam. The first myth that we have is practicing Indian traditions is equal to giving up riches and practicing austerity. We have heard this statement, as Ranjani Mahodaya just now stated. In a lot of context we have heard. So the conclusion is we should not practice practice our traditions. Most of us have heard this somewhere or the other. Have we? Any comments, thoughts, suggestions? Apeksha Mahodaya, Vikram Mahodaya, Bharat Mahodaya.
We have heard this even in Patanjali Yoga Sutras and Bhagavad Gita kind of a thing, where they say about Yama Niyamas and other things. So restraint.
Okay. Again. Okay, let me clarify that as well. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up very clearly. Good. Vikram Modi, you had something to say.
Not really. Sorry, my video is off.
Not a
Today some
problem.
issues. Not really. I think what I've heard is that live frugal life,
Live frugal life. Okay.
right?
Thank
Simple
you.
life or frugal life. That's it. Don't go behind riches.
Don't
Or
go behind riches. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Mangala Modi.
Namaste. Joining after 2 weeks, so many classes. So being in yoga field, I can say is attachment without detachment. Like with detachment. Like we are. Example can be like I'm using car, but I'm not getting attached. I have relationship, I'm not getting attached. So it's like attachment without detachment. I can say in simple words.
Right.
I think it is detachment without attachment.
Yeah. Attachment without detachment. Preeti Modi. Vaktumichchati va?
No, Mahodaya, I don't have any thoughts
You
on
don't
this.
have anything to add to this. As to Chindan.
I have one Kartik Mahodaya.
Please go
So
ahead.
it is said, so my favorite god is Ishvara. So there is a saying that says, when he is an ascetic or when he is a when he is following sannyasa, there is nobody greater than him. And when he is a grihastha, there is no greater grihastha than him.
Than him. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's resolve this sort of conflict in our minds that whether we have any.
I think one sentence, one sentence, yuktahara viharasya, yukta jeshtasya karmasu. Yukta, everything yukta will be, but moderate. Yukta aharam, yukta viharam, yukta jeshta. Yukta is the word, I think so.
Yukta is the word, correct. That's exactly what Mangala Mahodaya also said. That's exactly what Patanjali's Yoga Sutra Vikram Mahodaya also said. And that's exactly where Ranjini Mahodaya is also coming to. I'll give you one more story. Okay. The right story to understand this in the right context. When in this is a story from the Bhagavata Purana. Right. Where I'm sure all of us know the story of Mahabharata. There was the war, then everybody died. Then this person, the great Ashwathama, got very angry after his father was killed. So he went about killing all the Draupadeyas, that is the Draupadi's 5 children. He killed pretty much everybody, finished off everyone. Then finally, he tried to kill even Subhadra's son was in the womb, in her womb.
Uttara's
son. Subhadra's grandson, yes, Abhimanyu's son. Uttara's womb. Right, he tried to attack through the Brahmastra. Krishna himself went, saved, and did everything. When the child was born, right? When that child, because Krishna protected him, the child was still born. It was a stillborn child. That is, the child did not cry.
Parikshit.
Yes, it was a stillborn child. It was almost, hopes given up. The statement that Krishna makes at that point.
Yeah, he said, all my punya that I have got till date, I will hand it over to the child and let him live.
That is after he started crying.
Oh, okay.
What did he say to bring him to life?
That I don't know.
You know what he said? Yadyam nitya brahmachari asmi. Yadi aham nitya brahmachari asmi. Yesha Shishur Udishyati.
Oh, great.
Now imagine a person who has 16,000 plus 8 wives saying, I am a Nitya Brahmachari. If I am practicing Nitya Brahmachari, then this child will cry. That's exactly what he said. It is there. You can get the reference of that shloka. So what is Krishna actually telling us through that shloka is very simple. If you are in the framework of dharma, he was very clear. He had married all the 16,000 plus 8. And he was a very practicing grahastha at that point in time. And he had children from all of them, without exception. The point is trying to make is, if you are within the framework of dharma, if you are within the framework of grahastha and getting all the riches and everything, then your concept of then that itself is a life of brahmachari. That itself is a life of this one. And it is not that you need to give up everything and, force yourself into something. So basically, there are all these, there are a lot of places where you find a lot of problems in a lot of ashramas. There are people who have not given up their grahastha, say, take over sannyasa, and they all that they do, come there and do is politics. Right? So that cannot be sannyasa. Sannyasa has to take you. Alternately, you can be in grahastha itself and be practicing that with nigraha, with atma nigraha. Right? Krishna has shown us that path. That's exactly what is trying. In fact, if we go to our Vedas and Veda and Vedanta, Vedas are 85% of our whole Shastras are Vedas. That is only for grahasthas. That is not for that is for basically Chitta Shuddhi. Okay? And that's exactly where the Yoga Sutras also come in. Bharat Mahodaya asti va? Astu Mahodaya. So that's exactly what the Yoga Sutras also tell. Yuktahara Vihara. That's exactly what Narayan Mahodaya also said. What it means is, in order to ordain that and cleanse yourself, taking whatever is needed within the framework of dharma is not wrong at all. In fact, Krishna clearly says in the 3rd chapter, Devena Paraspara Bhava. That is, you give something, something is given to you as well in return. That is the concept of yajna. That is the concept of, that is the framework of yajna he puts forth in the 3rd chapter. Of course, that same yajna he takes it to in the 4th chapter, saying Brahmarpanam Brahmavi, Brahmangam Brahmanautam, Brahmaiva Dena Gandhavya, Brahma Karma Sabadhina. Right? So, it does not mean that you need to give up your riches. I can prove this with just 2 examples. One is, this is a mantra from the Rig Samhita. Ano Bhadra Sukta. We can all check it up. Ano Bhadra Krata Voyantu Vishwato Dabdaso Aparitasa Udvidaha. That is the first, that is what the first, this one says. So, first mantra, first line says, that is, let only good things come to me. Let me have only good things surrounding me. This is what Veda is saying at one level. Okay. The next thing it says is Shatabennu Sharado Antideva Yatra Nashchakra Jarasam Tanunam Putraso Yatra Pitaro Bhavanti Mano Madhyari Rishata Yurganto Shataminnu Sharadaha Antideva 100th year. Shataminnu Sharada is Sharad Ritus. 100 Sharad Ritus. Please make me see at least 100 Sharad Ritus. That means let me live for 100 years. And it says Antideva at the last one. Even in the last one, Jarasam, don't make me old. Jarasam, don't make me, don't get freckles on my skin. Even in that last day, I want to live very happily and very well. And what is it that I need to say in the meantime? When my son, Putra, so is Putra or Putri, you can take it as both. When my child becomes a father or father or mother or whatever, and I don't want neither mine nor my child's life to be cut short before they see at least this much. That is grandson, probably great grandson, etc., etc., etc. So first line says, you need to be living well, eating all the good stuff that comes, no teeth problem, no BP, no sugar, etc., etc. That is for myself. And I don't want it just for myself. I want it for my children. That is the level of things that we are asking for our life. That is a pravritti. While we are here, no doubt we are all seeking moksha, we are all seeking towards outside the birth and death, everything. But while we are here in this life, we need to live a full life within that framework called dharma. That is what it is demanding. It is a demand. In fact, it is not even this one. It is saying, yes, this is what I want. Okay. So this is one. And there are hundreds and thousands, most of it, in fact, 85% of all the mantras are like this in our Vedas. Then, I don't know how many I am sure a lot of us have heard of Rudra and Chamaka. Correct? Anybody who has not heard of Rudra and Chamaka? Huh?
I have not heard Mahodaya.
How many have heard of this? Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Namaste Manyo Uto Taishave Namaha. Namaste Astu. It goes on.
That is a Rudra part?
Rudra part,
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I have heard of it.
Bahubhyam Udare Namaha. Yataishu Shivatama Shivam Babuvate Danaho. I'm sure somewhere you would have heard it. Have you?
Yes, Mahodaya.
Right. Once this Rudra is done, along with it comes what is called, the Rudra part is about 300 names of Rudra. Okay. After that comes what is called Chamaka. You know what Chamaka Prashna is? Anyone who knows what is it? We are in Rudra, it is straightforward. We are praising Rudra. And we are giving different names and forms, and we are saying and doing the Abhisheka to Rudra. This is followed by a Chamaka Prashna. Nobody skips the Chamaka part. Agna Vishnu Sajosha Sema Vardantu Vangiraha Yumnairvaje viragatam vajascha me prasavascha me pradishcha me. It goes on. Anybody who's heard about it?
Yes, seeking the material and non-materialistic things.
Correct. So there are 360 things we seek in that. Starting with Vajaschame, Prasavashchame, Praditishchame, it goes on.
Also, some numbers.
Yes, that comes in the end. Ekachame, Trayashchame, Panchachame, Saptachame, Navachame, Ekadashame. That's what I'm.
Odd numbers and even numbers.
Yes. So that has a different set of meanings, and a lot of interpretations are given. There is a bhashya says that those are very clearly codified as to what Eka and Dva. For instance, 44 would refer to 44 Marutas, that is wind. So there are a lot of things that come there. So totally 360 things. Okay. So I'll just give you one small example of how we are going to, how we seek it. Okay. So this happened to me, in fact, at one of the places in some other country. So some person, we were just talking and chatting, and that person threw a very sort of a nasty statement at me, saying, you were all very austere, pious, you don't need anything. Why are you asking for such a high salary or some such, not a very nice statement to me. So I just asked back, what is it that and he was a very senior person, in fact, pretty high up in the order. So I asked, what is it that you seek? He said, I seek money. I am very much, very, I want to be rich in life. So I asked him, I'm sure you also go and pray. So how do you go and ask for that money? He said, he made a very simple statement. I go about asking for, I need money, give me money, I am happy. So I just had to tell him, how I would seek if I were in your place, just if I wanted simple money. Then I told him, Shanchame, Mayashchame, Priyanchame, no Kamashchame, Sau Manasashchame, Bhadranchame, Shreyashchame, Vasyashchame, Yashashchame, Bhagashchame, Dravidanchame, Yantachame, Dhartachame, Kshemashchame, Dvitishchame. So totally about 30 of them. Every time I say a chame, it means that give me. Something I said, give me. May is give me. So, Shanchame, first and foremost, I need good things. I don't want anything bad coming to me. Mayashchame, it has to be very, very pious. Good. Priyanchame, it should be lovingly coming to me. I don't want something that is, hateful and somebody's reject. I don't want to come. That should come to me with all the Priya and Hita. Kamashchame, out of my own will and my own desires, I should get it. I should acquire it out of my own hands. Okay. And Manasashchame, out of my own mind. I don't want to steal somebody's idea, and out of that idea, I don't want to copy, or I don't want to be called a plagiarist and then be getting that money. No, I don't want all those things. Once I have all these things, then give me money. And then Bhadranchame, make sure that it is all good and it is secure. First, give me the security to protect that money. Then give me the money. Until such time, if I have money, what is the use? I mean, somebody comes, if I can't even stand up for myself, that's of no use. Right? Then give me all the money, all the riches. Okay. Having got that, I don't stop there. It does not stop there. It goes on. Okay. Dravidanchame, Mitranchame, Abhayan, give me Abhaya. In spite of having the money, how many of us can today claim that after having the money, I'm not going to be, fearful of something? give me fearlessness to be able to enjoy that money. Then it comes with, give me life, give me good life, give me good company, give me good companionship, give me good friends with whom I can go and enjoy that money. Right? After all this, the Anuvaka ends with Sushanchame Sudhiranchame. Sushanchame is give me peace of mind. Sudhiranchame means Shayaranchame, Sushanchame, Sudhiranchame. Shayaranchame means give me good place to sleep. Sushanchame, give me peace of mind. Sudhiranchame, give me a good sleep. How many can claim today that after having so much of money, can go and sleep well? This is how I told him, this is how I ask for my money. I don't know how you are going to ask and how you are going to have all these things. Once I have this, I'm more than happy. Now you tell me who is rich and who is poor. After that, those statements never came. So the point I'm trying to make is this whole concept of, give up your riches, live in austerity, you need to go to a forest and start dwelling is all bunkum. If anybody is telling that, you might as well say, boss, you have not understood anything about this. So that was a point I just wanted to make here, so that while we are studying Sanskritam, let's have the right clarity that nothing is preventing us from, going and seeking money. All that it says is seek it in the right framework. It is nowhere saying stop seeking things or don't be rich or don't do things that are right. Okay, so this was one point that I wanted to cover for today, wanted to bring out. So that's fine. So any other dhatus or anything that we want to discuss today? I don't want to introduce a new concept, but I want to do more practice with more dhatus. Anybody wants to give a dhatu to practice or give a verb, random verb? Huh? Preeti Mohdaya diya tha. Bhavati diya tha.
Sorry, Mahodaya.
I said give a dhatu or give a English verb.
Okay. Sleeping. I mean, sleep, to sleep.
Sleep. Okay. Who wants to talk about sleep? I think we covered sleep, no?
No, we did not.
We did not?
No, we did not.
Okay. Who wants to answer this question?
I already told a story.
Of?
No, in the discussion, I already.
So you don't want to take up that. Okay. Astu.
But I don't know what is the right word. Is it nidra or what is the other word for?
Yes. So we will discuss that. Apeksha Mohdaya, do you want to take it?
Is it Shayati?
Huh?
Shayati?
Sheti is the right word.
Shayati.
But for now, let's take dra. Dra dhatu.
Tra dhatu. Dra.
Dra. Dra. Dra will also mean sleep.
Okay.
Okay. Dra dhatu, do you want to give all the this one?
Table.
Yeah. Pratama Purusha. Just see the pattern. Patati, patata, patanti.
No, what is the dhatu? Dra.
Dra.
It's drati. No.
Yeah, correct. Drati.
Drati. Dratah. Dranti.
Dranti, correct.
Dranti. Drasi. Drathah. Dratha. It's Drami. Dravah. Dramah.
Uttama. Dravah, Dramah. Astu. Uttama. Sheti is the other word you wanted to say. Correct?
Shayati.
Shayati.
Is it Shayati or Sheti?
Sheti,
Shayana.
what?
Shayana.
Shayana is there. There is no Shayati. Shay dhatu is there. So there will be Shay dhatu will be for cooking. It will not be for sleeping.
How do you write it, Mahadev?
For Drati.
Drati.
Drati, I will show you. This is the way we will write this. Dra. So you can, the ni, the nidrati will be an upasarga with it. Astu va? Clear?
Sorry,
Mahadev, one
Mahadev. What did you say? Ni will be
Ni. Yeah, I can add a ni also to this.
Okay, and why do we add that? I mean, for what?
That will be a upasarga, just to emphasize it. Nidrati.
Balakah nidrati.
Huh?
Balakah nidrati.
Balaka nidrati.
Balaka drati.
Balaka drati is also fine. Nidrati is usually makes it more emphasis and very clearly makes it, it is sleeping. Because drati can also mean that drati will also mean what is that? It can be there is one more meaning to drati, in fact. Drati can also mean, give me a minute, to be, to sort of, it can also mean to fly away. To run away, to fly away. It can also be used in certain negative terms. So if you say ni, it makes it very clear it is sleeping.
Mahadev, one question.
Mahadev.
So even here, refa will come, right? I mean, dra, refa, ra. So it can't be dranati, is it? Because like Shrunoti, even Shru is a Refa which will come before the.
Yes. True. No, it is not because of that. It is not Dranati. It is here. It is Dra. So there, the reason for the Nakara is different. So in the Prayoga Vistara, if you see, there is a Nakara that gets added to certain Refas, and where it is a non-Akara after that. Some such rule is there. I'll have to check that. If we look at this, there was Rikara. See, this Shru is technically not Refa. It is R. How do I put that? It should be, okay, this should be Shakara with this. This is how you will see Shunoti technically anywhere you go. Let me. Here also, it will be like this. So this is the Rikara which is creating that thing. Same thing with Kru Dhatu. Krunoti, Karoti, it becomes Karoti there, that's why. Okay.
Okay.
So the Akara, wherever you have an Akara, that Nakara is not there or some such rule is there, I'll get you the exact rule. Okay, so there is no clear pattern for the there are a set of thumb rules given for the Vikarana Pratyaya, but they are not hard and fast that they always appear there. So they are defined as per the Gana of the. I mean, we have not gotten into that, but so please don't. There are 10 Ganas for each of these dhatus are divided into 10. Each of these 2,250 odd dhatus are divided into 10 ganas. Okay. So that Vikarna Pratyaya that gets attached to it is dependent on the gana. Then it depends on the end word, end letter, plus. There are totally 3 rules if I'm not mistaken. So based on that, it becomes there, Mahodaya.
Too complex.
So in this sense, in this case, so it will not be there, Drati. So the Nidrati will make it very clear that it is sleeping. Astu va?
Astu Mahodaya.
Okay, next, who wants to give the next, this one?
What about this Sheti?
Shet, you are looking at Sheti, no? Just a minute, let's go there. So for sleep, let's check what are all the things that we can use for sleep. How all can we induce sleep other than my lecture? So, Drai Dhatu, Shi Dhatu, Dra Dhatu we just saw. Swap is to sleep, Swapati. Okay, let us see that also.
Can
Okay,
you go up a little bit, Mahodaya? Shait that the first one was Drai Dhatu.
Drai.
The second.
I'll just go there. I will just go there and see. Drai is in 2 cases. Drai is one. Shi Dhatu is also there. It's here. Drai. Drayati, Drayata, Drayati, Drayasi, Drayata, Drayata. So if you look at the meaning, it clearly means to sleep. Drayati. Okay. So this is one. Shi. Shete. This is where Mahodaya Shayati. You are asking about Shayati, no? Vikram Mahodaya.
Yes.
So that Shayati comes from here.
Shete. Okay.
So the She Dhatu, the problem with this is that it is Shete. So that is Atmane Pade, not this one. Straightforward this one. So we have not, we'll get to Atmane Pade in this one in a few days. And there we will see.
Okay.
Okay. So there you'll have to use the there.
So is it okay? This is Shete. What about Dra? Dra dhatu. Is it Drati or Drayati?
Dra. Yeah, it is Dra. It is Dra.
Okay.
It is here. Drati, Dratha, Dranti, Drasi, Dratha, Dratha, Drami, Dravha, Dravha, Dramah. Similarly, Drai. Drayati, Drayatah, Drayanti. So if you go to the info here, it clearly means that this is only to sleep. But as you can see, Artha Swapne. So this is usually used, this dhatu is used, this Drayati is used when you want to describe a dream sleep, not a deep sleep. Now, when you want to describe a deep sleep, you will usually use the dra dhatu, nidrati. Okay. So, nidra. Nidra is what clearly describes a deep sleep. So, dra, if you attach the knee, it becomes deep. The knee is used to describe something deep. Sarga, nisarga. Okay. So that is where this drayati comes in. Then shete we just discussed. The other one is swapiti, swapdhatu. This is clearly, as we can say, it is for the swapna. You are dreaming and it is swapiti, swapita, swapanti, swapanti, swapishi, swapita, swapitha, swapisi, swapimi, swapivaha, swapimaha. So these are all the different things that you can use for combinations that can be used for getting sleep or describing sleep. All right. Okay. Next. Okay. Who wants to give the next word? Ranjani Mahodaya.
To discuss.
Huh?
Discuss.
Huh?
Discussion. Discussion.
Discussion. We will see. So, discussion is discuss. That is the verb form, no?
Yes.
So the form is mantrati.
Not chinta.
Chinta is more for chintayati.
To contemplate.
That is
Okay.
more to think and contemplate.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, if you go here, to contemplate, to think, to remember, to worry. So this is more of an offshoot for this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Give me 1 minute. I need to take this call. Sorry about that. Okay. So, so we were discussing about discuss. So there was a question on what about Vada? Correct. So that is the word which we want to take it up. Let's take, instead of saying discuss, can we change this to something like, say, charcha? So there you have it. Charchayati, charchayataha, charchayanti, charchayasi, charchayataha, charchayatha, charchayami, charchayavaha, charchayamaha. So what does it mean to study, to discuss, to get all the, to church adhyayane, to basically mutually discuss. This is what you meant, no?
Yeah.
Astu Mahodaya.
What about one more word about if I'm witnessing something, to witness?
Observe.
We cannot call it witness.
Witnessing. Okay, Astu. Let us see what happened if I put witness. So I witness, there is nothing. So what you will get is ikshyati atva drakshyati or observe. Lakshyate. This is the one. Lakshyate. We took this word last time. Lakshayati. Remember, we took this word, no?
Why I was asking is, usually they'll say that whatever work that you are doing, or if you're seeing something and if you want to be detached from it, you have to observe things as a witness.
That's exactly what we took last time, no? Here, Lakshadhatu. We discussed this in the last class.
Okay.
Correct? Lakshayati, lakshayatha, lakshayanti, lakshayasi, lakshayatha, lakshayatha, lakshayami, lakshayavaha, lakshayamaha. Astu? Okay. Now, Mangala Mahodaya, you want to add something?
Just gone through the video of the last session, but I couldn't go through it because I missed 2 classes of Padani, but I was able to go through the first session of the video, getting the basics.
Okay. So this we will take it as a small revision session here. So what we will do, we will go through the next session. We'll introduce a new concept. Astuva. So please, whoever has not been able to catch up with the Latlakara, please try to do that. We have done enough examples here. So I have shown you how to do it on Ashtadhyayi also. Whatever you want to do, whatever verbs you want to try, please try them. You want more examples, we'll discuss them here. Come back with questions. Okay, so that's what we will do in the next class. Okay. Astuva?
Yeah, 1 second. I went to the session with last session what you conducted. It was Prathama, Madhyama, and the first, second, and third person. I was able to understand. The only thing is the formation of the sentence probably but
Formation of a sentence.
Yes.
Simple thing. If it's a third person, anybody other than you, everything you two, or you all, that is tvam, yuvam, yuyam. Will all come in.
Is it possible for you to write that spelling, Mahodaya?
Okay, let me put it here.
Even I have wanted to ask that.
In this case, it should be tvam, yuvam, yuyam. Okay. Aham, avam, vayam. Okay. These two will strictly go with only this. You can by heart them. Nowhere else we can use these two sets. This will go with pretty much anyone. It can be any third person usage. Saha, yeshaha, athva, Ramaha, Sita, whatever you want to use. Similarly, so this will again be with te, ye, te, and Ramaha or Sitaha. All this will go with, I can add a Nidranti as well. Got it? Clear? Avagatam? Avagatam va? Any third person usage will be only in the first, this one. Prathama Purusha. You, Tvam, Yuvam, Yuyam will always be in the Madhyama Purusha. Aham, Avam, Vayam will always be in the Uttama Purusha. Astu va? Okay. Samayam Atitaha. Samayaha Atitaha. Time goes fast. So, time is up. Adya Samapayamaha. We'll stop here. Shall we stop here? Okay. Next class, we will do some verbs. Also, we will go back to our dictation. Whoever is yet to give the dictation. Or Shruti Lekhanam Karishyamaha. Kritva Agre Gavishyamaha. Astu va? Okay. I'll end with the Mangalam today. Om Swasthi Prajabhyah Paripalayanta Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Brahmanebhyo Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavanto Kale Varshita Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Shobharahito Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Aputra Putrinas Santu Pautrinah Adanat Sadanat Santu Jivantu Sharadam Shatam Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। हरिः ओम्। श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि